morning, guys. Alright, today is Thursday, May 26th. Look, I got bit or something on my arm here. Now, we're at the Loves in Ripon, California now. About time for us to make our delivery to the WinCo distribution center in Modesto. So I'm going to get rolling now. I figured right now would be a good spot to start from, so you guys have a good kind of basic idea how to get to this customer or whatever, all this kind of stuff from a nearby truck stop. Since I'm here anyway, I ended up stopping here to top off my reefer tank with fuel. That way, whenever I get a pre-plan, it's pretty full or close to full, and I don't need to fill it up again before I don't need to worry about getting more fuel for it before picking up my next load. Get focused on getting around these guys safely. Swing wide, it's a fucking trailer, guys. Alright, two ways out of here. You can either come out this driveway here or go the other way out the other driveway. They'll both get you to the same spot. What is it? That's a big, that's a pretty good sized cat. Big enough, I thought it might have been something else at first. Hey, it's 4:15 a.m. local time now. I ran out here from Reno, or Sparks, whichever you want to call it. You guys saw my last video, the delivery to U.S. Foods and it's driving me nuts. So as you guys saw in there, I talked about PCing, or personally conveying, from there over to the TA truck stop in Sparks, Reno, whichever you want to. It's Sparks technically, I think, but Reno, same thing. Now that TA there, let's see, which lane do I need? I know it's like the second ramp. It's kind of a weird ramp here, so it can be really misleading. Yeah, it's the second one. Alright, so yeah, one thing I like about the TA is that they have a Fuddruckers in there. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Fuddruckers, it's basically like a burger joint for the most part, but they have exotic stuff in there. Like you can get buffalo burgers, elk burgers, turkey burgers, and stuff. I have a few different styles of burgers. Like I ended up getting a Southwest. I asked if I could get it in elk instead of beef, and she said, yeah, you can do that. So yeah, elk is a lower calorie burger compared to even the buffalo, and buffalo is lower calorie than than beef for that. So that was one of the motivators there. Not to mention, like, I can't just. Where do you get elk burgers from? Not too many places around. So I was like, oh shit, I'm all for this. I'll give it. I'll go ahead and have some of that. And it's, I don't mind elk. Really just tastes for the most part like beef a little bit to me. At least the burger I had did. It was pretty good. So Southwest has avocado, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and then you can put whatever toppings on you want. Like, I just put lettuce and onion on it, but they got other stuff there too, like relish and pickle and all the other normal shit, whatever. Y'all are gonna just insist on railroading me, get me stuck, trapped behind JB Hunt, right? Thank you, you stupid car. Alright, so I didn't know that at the time, but because when I got through with when I was doing my Reno delivery, for some dumb reason, I had it stuck in my head that I had to be here at 4 a.m. But then when I got to Reno, I double checked, you know, how much time I had to work with. Come on, people. JB Hunt's down to like 47 miles an hour now. We're just not going to do this. All right. Anyway, where was I now? Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have enough time to get a full 10-hour break in, because if you consider the time I was actually in the dock door in Reno, and then add in the time that I was who's high beaming? It kind of looks like this guy's high beaming the other guy or something. Yeah, he is. I'm not sure what's going on there. This guy's gonna probably accelerate now because the other guy got out of the way. And I'm just kind of in relaxed mode, whatever, but I mean, I'm barely doing 57, but I'm, you know, I'm still having trouble with trucks being in my way. I'm kicking back, really. Nobody drives 57. Everybody drives at least 60, yeah, as far as trucks are concerned. So, yeah, speaking of that, aside for, you know, like some spots where I coasted, you know, or my Jake brakes took longer to kick in when I was going across Donner Pass. You know, being an automatic truck, sometimes, you know, and I'd have my cruise control set, and then when I get ready to go down a hill, like, you know, if I'm set at 57 on the flats and uphills, I just want to kick back to 57, whatever, like I was. I drop my cruise speed down to 52, and then when it gets to about 57, it's supposed to kick in the Jake brakes to hold my speed as I'm going down hills. But sometimes that IPM system that these trucks have, which is called Integrated Powertrain Management, I believe, or Integral Power, or something like that. What it does is it tends to chop your throttle when you're at the tops of hills, as well as when you're approaching the bottoms of hills. So, and then sometimes it's just slow to react, so I have to manually put it in first stage Jake to get it to start reacting a little sooner sometimes. So, one of the stupidities about auto shift trucks, I guess. Let me get my zoom here. All right. Oh yeah, so one of the yeah. So if you guys haven't been to Fuddruckers before, check them out. They got one at the TA there. Now they have a number of other locations in the country. They're not a huge. They used to have a lot more restaurants back in the day. Probably like in the 1980s and shit than they do now. But they're still around. Just kind of here and there, I guess. But yeah, I recommend them. They're pretty good, pretty good burger joints. Now my friend Angel, though, the first time he went there, he wasn't so impressed. I think because whatever burger he got was just all on the bland side or dry or whatever was wrong with it. I'm like, are you sure you're at the same place? Because every time I go to Fuddruckers, the burgers are damn good. So I think he ended up going there again later on and trying it out again. I told him, try this or that, whatever. And so he tries that. You know, you're right, it is pretty good. But yeah, the trip over here was nice and relaxing. Not much traffic. There were a couple other truckers I was dealing with over, going up, climbing up Donner Pass from Reno. But I mean, just being relaxed, whatever. Just really didn't even have to deal with them much at all until, I know I had a Mahan trucker to deal with a couple times, but that's about it. So, really happy about that. Forgot what I was going to talk about here. Oh yeah, so on Reddit, I had Yeah, I had a discussion on Reddit not too long ago. I'd say a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, whatever it was. Some guy had posted pictures of, I don't know if maybe I talked about this. You guys might tell me in the comments if you remember me talking about this before. This guy, I think it was a day cabber. He was griping about how, I guess an OTR driver for his company had swapped with him and gave him a trailer that had a flat tire that was off the bead. Now, where the bead of the tire came unseated from the lip of the wheel. And I think he had a concern about one of the other tires having wear or something on it. And I go, that's, where this tire is worn, it's not at one of the major tread grooves. It's actually on the edge where it doesn't count. It has to be on one of the major tread grooves where you'll find a stone ejector or a wear indicator, where you typically find one for it to count as far as wear is concerned. So that tire is nothing wrong with it. It might look like it's right lane closed ahead, but I'm not too far away from my exit either. Right here on the other side of Modesto, we're going to be getting off onto, let me go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Because if I'm going to lose this right lane, I don't want this other trucker, it looked like he might be checking up for me anyway, but I don't trust other drivers. I don't care who they are. If he's not indicating for me to come on over and I keep seeing him creeping closer and closer and closer, it gives me more reason to question if he's even paying any attention to what's going on here, or if he even gives a rat's ass. For all, because there are drivers out here who just as soon watch me run over cones or something just for their own stupid amusement or something. Alright, so anyway, this guy on Reddit. Now, the flat tire, I had noticed that, because I had noticed that this particular trailer involved had the Auto-Inflate system on it. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, you might see, like, every JCT trailer has this system. I've never seen one JCT trailer not have Auto-Inflate. Now, on my Cedar England days, there were some trailers that had them and some that didn't, if I recall. But every JCT trailer I've ever pulled has Auto-Inflate. What it is they have this extra system on the trailer where we got a shutoff valve up on the front, just forward of the front axle on the trailer. And there's this plumbing that goes to the hubs. And the hubs actually can take pressurized air and then send that pressurized air out to the tires to keep them inflated. So if you have a leak, no problem. This system will keep it inflated. We're not too far. We've got maybe a few more miles to go. But so I had pointed that out. I'd mentioned that, and I'd say, well, if it's got Auto-Inflate, if it's flat and you can't see anything otherwise visually wrong with the tire, I said make sure that shutoff valve is open and try airing it up. And I said if it doesn't air up, go ahead and start driving it. There's very strongly likely that it's going to air itself back up after you start driving it, because I've had numerous problems like that myself. I actually just had one just like that recently. Right before I went on home time. You guys might remember I did that delivery to the Ralph's in Riverside, California. I don't remember if I vlogged that one, but I thought I might have. That one there, I had a clip in there, a show and tell clip in there where it had a flat tire on that, the left rear outer, if I remember. So, good example of that. When I first found it, First thing I always check when I see that is to find out if the auto-inflate shutoff valve is open or closed. Now, like I mentioned, that valve is up on the front of the front axle. So if you crawl in and underneath the trailer in front of the axle, the front axle, right there by there'll be a box mounted to the frame of the trailer, and right, usually just to the left side of it as you're facing aft. Dude, you're gonna have to hurry up. You gotta either hit your gas pedal or back it off. That's on you for not paying attention, dipshit. You're trying to merge into MySpace, and that's I think my exit's coming up right next. Yeah, very next exit. I think it's Crow's Landing Road or whatever it's called. Anyway, yeah, if you now sometimes a lot of times that shutoff valve will be closed, and the reason why it'll be closed is often because whoever did maintenance on that on the trailer last, or on that tire position, one of those tires or brakes or whatever. Yeah, it's Crow's Landing Road. A lot of times when they get through doing the work, the mechanic forgets to open the valve back up. So they might initially air the tire up, but then if they don't have, maybe they don't have the auto-inflate hose hooked up to the tire properly, which it's very common. Now we're gonna make a right turn over here, or follow down this way. Stuff along that line, the tire can eventually go flat, even though there might be nothing wrong with it. It might not even be a leaky tire. It might just be a shitty connection to the tire from the auto-inflate system, or or there could be something else in the auto-inflate system that's leaking, and what air is in the tire is getting basically, because when you have a pressurized system, your pressure, when you have two different pressurized areas and they're connected to each other, they always, the pressure always goes from the higher pressure area to the lower pressure area until they equalize. So if you have let's say 110 psi in your tire, but then the auto-inflate system, or at least the hub or something, only has like 100 or we'll just say 50 pounds, 50 psi in it, then your tire is going to lose air. Or if it can't get the air at all, then if it's just zero pressure in there, then the tire is just going to vent out all of its pressure into the hub, which is going to vent it out elsewhere. So that's how the tire sometimes ends up flat. Now, it's pretty common it'll end up off the bead as well, and I've seen it way too many times myself. So if that happens, first what I do is double check that the shutoff valve is open. If it's not, I open it up and start airing the tire up by pushing air to the trailer. Maybe I'll sit there for a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes, and see if it starts airing up. If it doesn't, then my next option there is to start driving with it. Give it a try, because as long as I can hear air, because if I have that valve open and I'm pushing air to the tire or to the trailer, I go back outside and I should be able to hear air trying to push out to the tire. So if it's off the rim, you're gonna definitely gonna hear it pushing air, unless you run into a problem like my friend had, where it ended up. His problem was the shutoff valve was actually open, but he wasn't getting any air going to the tire, and it turned out he had a bad hub thing, or whatever you call it. Where I guess something along with the way the hub was preventing air from getting from the auto-inflate supply line to the hub itself, so it wasn't able to pressurize the tire. So that was one of those different cases, but 9 times out of 10 when I have those situations, just opening the shutoff valve and pushing air to the tire will at least start, and we'll try to push air to the tire. It might even air up while I'm parked, but if not, usually always, if I start driving, and especially if I make turns. Because if you make a turn, the centrifugal force of the, I'm going to have to keep talking here because we're getting real close to the customer. Centrifugal force of the turn will actually push the sidewall up against the rim on one side. And then while that's happening, the air going into the tire will start pushing the other sidewall up against the other side of the wheel. And it'll eventually seat the tire, seat the bead, whatever, and air it all the way back up like normal. I've had it happen way too many times to say that it doesn't work. So this guy on Reddit starts trying to suggest that there you go, talking like a rookie, whatever. No auto-inflate in the world's going to air that tire up. It's off the, they say it's off the bead. It's completely off the rim. I'm like, dude, it's not off the rim. It's inside the rim. And let's see, we're getting next. I think it's not this light, but the next light. Just pass it on the left. I have been to this customer before, once or twice. But, which we'll get to in a second there. They have a staging area. But going back to the Reddit guy, he's basically being very dismissive of what I had to say. And started jaw-jacking, whatever. And, eventually find it very laughable what I was even telling him. I'm like, dude, okay, if you don't want to listen, then that's on you. But I happen to know for sure that this will work. And it took, it ended up taking like 2 or 3 other people actually posting same thing that I was posting. And one of them even had a YouTube video and he posted showing it of how that happened. How doing that kind of fix actually 95% of the time for him, or as he says, would fix the problem. It's just some of the little outlier issues like what I just mentioned with my friend is where it might not work. But like I said, most of the time it does. So if you have an auto-inflate system on a tire and your tire's flat and you can't find anything otherwise wrong with it, give it a try. Alright, we're going to hit the left lane, and that way this guy also knows that he can have that lane there. It's, like I say, been a while here. I want to see, I'll just say you go through the guard shack first, and then after you get past the guard shack, you can hit the staging lots. Deliveries in the middle lane, okay. Alright, it ended up taking me right at 4 hours to get here from Reno. Wow, where's the rest of the staging lot? I mean, there's only 2 trucks in it. It's a good sized staging lot, but I only see 2 trucks in the entire lot. I'm shocked. Alright guys, we got a dock door right away. We're going to be docking into door 321. Yeah, he said it was pretty crowded earlier, but I guess everybody already got called into the dock doors. So, I also asked him about how early can we show up in here, and he said 4 hours. So, yeah, you can't stay overnight here, but yeah, you can get here at least a good 4 hours early and park in this staging lot. At least there's that. So I'm glad I didn't come here straight here from Reno, because I would have gotten turned away. And on top of that, you know, I was also concerned about whether I would show up here and find the lot full and not have anywhere to park. So, yeah, as it was, I was in error on when my delivery time was. So it gave me 2 extra hours to work with over what I thought I needed. So, or had available. I ended up getting a full 10-hour break out of it between the time I was in the dock door and the time I was at the TA. I just ended up, like I said, I just PC'd from the receiver to the truck stop, because it was for a personal reason, and then I couldn't stay on their property, so that was the other thing. I had to do something, but that's one of those cases where it just went ahead and got me a full 10-hour break, which, it did include the PC time, but sometimes you have to do that if you have to leave the customer's property. Alright, 321. He was saying he thought it should be over on the other side of the shipping office. Yeah. Got all these different trucks here. I need to take my my enforcer lock off still. The seal is already, he told me to cut it off and bring it to him, and he checked the number on it and all that. Let me take my I don't want to be blocking doors and other people when I'm trying just to get a damn enforcer lock off. Oh, I lied, it wasn't just the enforcer lock, it was also get the doors open. Alright, this is 334 here, so it should probably be over there by that long nose up there. Somewhere in that ballpark, I'd have to guess. I'm going to say very highly likely I'm going to dock in next to him. 2 doors from him. So I have a wide opening right there. Plenty of room here, so I'll start my turn 1 spot past. They pointed at this bobtail here. Tandem's right there in the center. Now we'll get our drives lined up. Come off. Yeah, tandems are just a little bit off to the left. I want to be sure that it's getting dragged over that way a little bit more. Looks a lot better. Perfect. Perfect. Come on. It was perfect until the damn truck wasn't rolling straight. Alright, so we're gonna get get checked into the office there. Bring the seal in with you. You don't necessarily need the gate pass, or at least it didn't sound like it was necessary, but I'm gonna take it in there just in case. I believe the pass is only needed to get checked out though. Alright. So I think that's settled that. We'll continue this on the way out of here. Alright guys, we're all done here. Sort of, I think. Let me get my trailer. I don't know if I should be closing my trailer doors yet. I don't know if the guard shack needs to see on the way out. This guy closed his trailer doors, but I don't know that I need to yet. Alright, so I did have OS&D on this one like I expected. turns out, let me fix this a little bit. Alright. So we had 41 cases of one item short, and then 46 cases of another one short. I was expecting there to be a shortage on this one, though.
A new important message has arrived.
Because when I... Yeah, like I said,
a new message has arrived.
Okay. I know that some of the product got pulled off, but was still on my BOL. When I went back to the shipper for the rework, the product, whatever product was pulled off the trailer there, was still on my BOL, and I'm pretty sure that was it, because when I talked to the customer yesterday in Reno, they knew nothing about any product being removed, or I had a couple shortages, but they were only 2 cases and then one other case, and then I had those other 2 cases, but I don't know what they're for. So whatever, I don't know. I talked to our OS&D person, Brittany, and according to her, anything 5 cases or more, I guess there's some stuff that needs to be done. But if it's just 2 cases, I guess it's some really quick thing that she can do, or whatever. I told her, all right, well, cool, because I just didn't want to get accused of stealing or something if it turns out that I end up with these cases personally, because I don't know who they belong to. As far as I knew, they could have belonged to Stop 90, because Stop 2 didn't document anything on their BOL, on their BOL of it being rejected for any reason. So should be good to go. WinCo, alright, common carriers on the left. Alright, and I noticed the guard or somebody. When I came through the guard shack, I think it was, because I know I saw the guy use his whiteout tape thing, whatever, and I could see that there's whiteout tape on the spot there, whatever. He put no match on the seal. I'm like, well, yeah, because he highlighted the seal that was being used for my first stop in Reno. I'm like, there's another seal just to the right of that one. That's the one that I came in with. It's like, of course it's no match on that one. I don't know what the big deal was there, but they took the product anyway, so I went and double checked with them. Hey, this is probably, I probably already know the answer to it, but humor me kind of thing. So yeah, and yeah, the lady in the office did confirm that she didn't know anything about that. Morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day. Alright, let me slide over here and get my trailer doors closed. Do it in a spot where I'm out of everybody's way. And we'll talk about what's coming up next. I'm gonna figure out what's the most convenient route to the freeway to southbound. Alright guys, let's get out of here now. I haven't sent my empty call yet, but so I'm waiting on permission to do it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be reloading tomorrow afternoon in Fresno, which is south of here. Couple ways to get out of here. To get back over to Highway 99. One, I can either turn right and go, that's northbound, that street just to the north of me. Take that over to the east, basically another right turn. And follow that down, and you'll end up on the south end of, you'll actually be going right through the south end of Modesto. And you'll have to cross the other side of 99. And make a right turn, and then there will be right after you get back under 99 again, you'll see an on-ramp there. The other way, now I'm not going that way because, like I said, it's right on the outside, on the edge of Modesto city limit. means there's probably a lot of traffic lights that I don't want to deal with. And if I come south here to Keys Road or Keyes Road, however you, I don't know how you pronounce that word. I always called it Keys, but there's a guy I worked with at March Air Force Base whose last name was spelled the same way, and he always pronounced it Keyes. So, I don't know, Keyes. You guys tell me, how would you pronounce it? But yeah, there's that. You can get on to 99 from Keyes or Keys, whatever road as well. That's the way I'm going to go because it's more rural in nature. So I can stay away from whatever traffic lights and lower speed limit crap or whatever I might have to deal with on that street just to the north of WinCo. Alright, so that's what's planned. You guys might wonder why I'm not loading until tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about that one on tomorrow on the pickup video, okay? Because it actually is something I already have documented that I want to discuss. But I have some research stuff that I did, but need to do more thorough research so I can have something to present to you guys talking about that issue. Because it is a concern that some drivers have. Actually, one of my friends was just complaining about the same thing yesterday about having to sit and wait for to pick up a reload, whatever. So you guys, I might give you some pretty good insight into some of that on that next video, okay? I go a lot more in detail at the beginning of that video instead of prolonging this video when I can just have something to talk about on tomorrow's video and not make one super long video and one shorter or whatever. Alright, so that's what's going on here, right? Like I said, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, now I'll see you guys in Fresno tomorrow, okay? You guys have a great day.